back on some of your most memorable and favorite TV shows and movies of all time, you think about those crucial scenes that are in it. And many of those took a lot of time to film, sometimes even up to a week, but that's the difference between your favorite TV show and mine. My favorite TV show, Game of Thrones, and my favorite episode, Battle of the Bastards, actually took 25 continuous nights to film one 45-minute battle scene that takes up about 3/4 of the episode. Now, when I delve further into my speech, you'll actually understand a little bit more as to why it took this long. This episode is able to hit all of the 3 main points that are necessary in any action, movie, or TV show. First off, I'm going to talk about today in my speech about suspense, followed by the actual cinematography itself, and also by the array of emotions it's actually able to uproot in its viewers. Now, in saying that, I'm now going to transition to my first main point of suspense in this episode. Now, Game of Thrones actually has been able to convey the thought that none of its characters are safe. Whether they're a main character or a side character, they can die off at any point at any time throughout the series. And that is a mindset that all viewers have going into this episode, as Jon Snow is also the main character that you can see actually grasping for air out of this pile of dead bodies in the middle of this battle. He was an underdog, and many of the viewers thought, oh man, how is he going to get out of this one? He was going into this battle for nothing but honor, honestly. And when you consider the heroic actions taken by other side characters that were just completely unpredictable, they all mushed together to make just an outstandingly suspenseful yet fulfilling episode in this series. Yet this is not overshadowed at all by the actual cinematography in this. And I will now transition to that as my second main point and start off with a little snippet from the beginning of this battle scene. So just right there, you can just see the utter chaos amidst the very beginning of that battle, and the quick camera angles and different cuts. You can see these changes all compiling to make it really feel like the viewer is actually sitting there right next to the battle, and that's something that many major action movies are unable to do, as it sort of almost breaks that fourth wall. And in saying this, whether you're watching it on a 13-inch TV or a 60-inch with surround sound, you will inevitably feel like you are sitting there watching this actual battle take place. Now, when I talk about this, I want to move on to my third and main point in this speech, and that being the actual aspect of the emotional uproots that it brings to its characters. And for this, I brought to you guys the little scale that you'll see in the nurse's office often when you're in elementary school to describe how you feel. It's a great metaphor for viewers during this episode because every single one of these is hit at some point throughout the episode. Whether you're sitting in the middle there neutral, like what the heck is going on there, kind of like what you guys might have felt when you just watched that last clip, or his brother dying at the very beginning and you just feel mad and angry, all the way to the very end when he actually defeats his enemy and perseveres through all of the hardships that he had to face. And all of these compile together to make just an outstanding episode emotionally as well. Now, when you consider all 3 of these main points in a major action film or TV show, it's essential to consider this episode of Game of Thrones, as it hits every single one of them perfectly, whether they be suspense, cinematography, or emotional uproots. Each one of them provides a unique factor, but they all correspond to something greater. And when you consider it, that is exactly why the Game of Thrones Battle of the Bastards was ranked the highest TV show ever on IMDb. Thank you very much.